for a check there, turning away from Zidlitsky. Back to Briere. Fire! Oh, Seam deflected stop. Gagne! He scored!
Are you feeling the shake? Because I'm feeling the shake. Oh my God, what a game. The Flyers pick up a 3-1 win in the second game of the round robin, and they are now clinched for the either first or second spot here in the round robin standings. What is up, everyone? My name is Chris, and today we've got another game review. As I said, the Flyers, they defeat the Capitals 3-1 here in the second game of the round robin. Now, a couple of things to start off in this game. No Carlson or Lars Eller for the Capitals. That was kind of expected, especially with Carlson being a day-to-day game-time decision. It's good to kind of let him rest for the playoffs. That's definitely good for Washington. I kind of expected that. And Lars Eller, he is in with his wife, the birth of their child. So again, no Eller there for the Caps. No JVR. He was out of the lineup today for the Flyers. It was kind of like right before the game, I kind of heard about it, and I was like, oh, I wonder why. And I guess it was just like a sending a message kind of thing. But Connor Buddeman came in and played on the fourth line here for the Flyers. And again, it was really a great day for the lines here for the Flyers. Again, so to start off here, first period, it's kind of back and forth play. The chances, it's not really like sharp offensive play. It's kind of just like broken up passes by both teams. Flyers weren't really too sharp on their passes early. There was a lot of penalties in this game. It was weird. The Capitals had 14 penalty minutes. Flyers had 10. So that's 7 penalties for the Caps and 5 there for the Flyers. So a lot of penalties were called. And it was just a kind of a weird situation with the way that they did the penalties and how they called the game. But regardless, the Flyers came into this game only with 3 power plays in total, including the exhibition game. They had 1 in that game, 2 against Boston. They get 7 today, and they show nothing for it. But I will get into that in a minute. So, power play early, as I said, no goals. They couldn't really get any much going. Then they got a second power play. It was kind of like a 4-on-4, then a 4-on-3, and then they had a 5-on-4, and that kind of just dwindled down. And then this is when they started to get their chances off that power play there. Elliott had a really nice save on Ovechkin. He was just, it was a great save there from Moose. Flyers come down, and it was a turnover here from Gudas. He's just holding the puck, trying to make some smart play, and it hits off of Hayes' it hit off the side of Hayes' leg, went into the corner. He centers it in front. Konechny makes an unbelievable pass, turns around, sends it right to Lawton, wide open net. It's 1-0 Flyers. Great pass, and that play right there reminded me of the Couturier pass when he had circled it around and threw it over to Farabee, and he just tucked it in the net on a wide open net, and that was back in February versus Colorado. But regardless, it was a pretty nice goal there, and an even better pass, and a great setup there from Hayes as well. There was a really bad call at the end of the first period that gave the Capitals a power play, but regardless, it was kind of just like a play where it looked like Kuznetsov had gotten injured. He was not on the bench to start the second either, and then the Capitals, they had a power play 28 seconds into the second period. Flyers killed that off, and then the end of the first period, shots on goal were 9-5 Flyers. Going into the second, the Aube-Kubel, Grant, and Farabee line was unbelievable today. Oh my God, it was just so good. I mean, I think it was just the way that they did the lines, and with JVR going out. And I think another thing is too is that you might be able to throw JVR in the lineup if you want to put him with Pitlick. But regardless, that line of Aube-Kubel, Grant, and Farabee was phenomenal. The Flyers' top line of Giroux, Couturier, Voracek didn't really show up that much today. But again, it wasn't as much of a high-scoring offensive game and like flashy game. It was kind of just like the Flyers were playing smart hockey. Like, they played good defensively, smart hockey, and they could get the puck in and cycle. And that's what these second and third line did today, and generated on a lot of goals. Lawton, he had 3 points today, and again, I'll get into that. But that line had the third line of Aube-Kubel, Grant, Farabee, again, they had a really nice shift to start the second period. A couple really big hits. And then this is where it was just power plays galore here for the Flyers. They had, oh my God, it was just unbelievable how many power plays they had. And then they ended up getting, as I said, power plays in this game. The Capitals, they had taken 7 penalties. So the Flyers went 0-for-7 on the power play. They had so many chances, but Elliott didn't really make many saves in this period because the Capitals were just defending the whole time. They couldn't really be doing anything. But regardless, the Flyers, it sucks to see because they don't score. But towards the end of these power plays, they get one here. Sanheim gets one on a really nice play from Hayes. And this is just amazing from Hayes here. He's just waiting and waiting, stick handling, just getting around guys. And he sends it in front right to Sanheim. And he kind of goes a little 1-2 to the forehand. And he makes it 2-0 Flyers. That play actually reminded me of the Raffle goal last game versus Boston, the first goal of the game, where Sanheim had got it and sent it down low to Raffle. And he backhanded on Halak. But Flyers, it was a 2-0 lead there. And then late in the period, Elliott had a breakaway save on Verana, and it was a really nice save. That was probably his best save of the period, and he was very good when called upon in this game. Capitals only had 17 shots for the game. Elliott had 16 saves. So at the end of the second, shots on goal were tied 13-13, but in the period, it was 7-5 Washington. Provorov, to start the third, generated a really nice chance off a defensive rush. Alby Cabell and Farabee, that third line again, had a 2-on-1. Nice save there from Holtby. A couple minutes later, Lawton makes it 3-0, his second of the game. As I said, he had 3 points, 2 goals, and an assist, and I believe it was just 12 minutes of ice time. But regardless, he was phenomenal. And, you know, the Capitals, 12 seconds later, something around there, they get one here. It was a weird goal. It was like a shot, and Boyd had tipped it, and it just squeaked behind Elliott. And I was like, oh my God. It was such a tough goal for Moose to give up because he was playing so well. And that was just kind of like a squeaker that kind of just rolled in. But the Flyers, they shut it down from there. They ended up going on the penalty kill. And then Elliott had a really nice save again on Verana on a one-timer. Huge kill. The Caps, they ended up pulling Holtby at 2:12 of the period, and the Flyers killed it off, and they pick up a 3-1 win here. So, as I said, shots on goal were 21-17 Flyers to end the game. Face-off percentage was 67% for the Flyers, 37% for the Caps. As I said, Flyers power play 0 for 6. I could have sworn it was 0 for 7, but the stat sheet says 0 for 6. Capitals were 0 for 4, so a really good penalty kill there from the Flyers. The hits in this game were 42-23. That might be the explanation of why the Capitals had taken so many penalties, but again, they were kind of just like, they were penalties where like it was to me it just seemed like a lot of hooks, tripping, slashing, just calls where they were just frustrated and they were just kind of taking it out, and they ended up really shooting themselves in the foot at this point. The blocks were 10-8 Capitals, and the giveaways were 17-15 Flyers. So going on for the ice time here, the Konechny, he gets 16 and a half minutes here. Hayes with 18 minutes, and then Couturier would end up getting the most here with 20-30. So Hayes would end up getting the second most, and TK would end up getting he would end up getting the fourth most, with Voracek getting 18-16. So again, it was a really big game here from the second and third line, but again, the most ice time going to your first line here, and Couturier getting 20-30 of that. As for the defense, who else but Ivan Provorov with 27 minutes and 26 seconds. An unbelievable game for him. He had 7 minutes and 9 seconds of power play time, so that also adds on to it. So he probably would have had around 20 minutes this game regardless, but all the power play time really skyrocketed Provorov's ice time here. It was a great game from the Flyers. They played an unbelievable game. I didn't really think it was, as I said, it wasn't a flashy game. It wasn't a game that was just like, oh my God, they're not, like the last game versus the Bruins, it was sort of high scoring, a 4-1 game. And then you have a lot of shots on goal. You have some power plays for both teams, but it was just a really offensive game. This game was more defensive and sound. The Flyers, they kind of just match up very well versus Washington. Only 1 point behind them to go into this, as the Caps had 90 points, Flyers had 89. But regardless, the Flyers, they pick up a 3-1 win, and they are now clinched for either the 1 or 2 seed here in this round robin play. So this game versus Tampa Bay on Saturday the 8th determines who gets 1 and who gets 2. I really think the Flyers have a good chance of winning this game. I don't know if they will. We'll have to see what happens. I'm not giving a prediction because it's just going to be too tight of a game for me too, and I don't want to jinx anything either. So again, remember guys, podcast, articles, those links are on my channel. Remember guys, feel the shake because I felt it today, and I will see you all next time.